you guys can see it, but there's a huge herd of turkey. It's a pretty big one. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. Wild turkey.
So my dad set some gopher traps the other day that were eating some of the roots on some plants that some trees that we planted over here on the corner of our property. So we're just gonna check them out. Got one. That'll teach them to eat our trees. So it's done. It's ready for concrete. We missed our deadline. We're supposed to pour Tuesday. And Tuesday, let's see, I think it was Tuesday morning. Either Monday or Tuesday I called them and canceled because we just weren't ready and I was being too rushed. So we canceled it, we got finished, but unfortunately there was a concrete supplier in one of the bigger cities a couple hours away that supplies all the ready mix concrete suppliers here in our area. They had an equipment breakdown and so they're all out of mix. So we're ready now, but now we're having downtime because we can't get any concrete. One of the big outfits in town, they have the mix, but they're only selling to their preferred clients, not just little do-it-yourself homeowners. So we're kind of at a standstill.
I don't understand how we're not preferred clients.
I know, it's hard to imagine.
I just don't get it. I would prefer us.
But we got everything ready. We went through and put in our, you can't see it, move over here, our diagonal bracing. We put string lines up and got the sides of our stem wall forms in a perfectly straight line, so they're not wavy or anything. Everything's solid now.
Yeah, that's really solid. It's a lot better. Okay, what?
Ready.
You guys are ready for what?
Go to the wood.
They're ready to go take care of some wood. So a tree had fallen over into our neighbor's property over there, so that's one of the things we're going to get done today. So we're going to go head over there with our yellow gloves, because we're all part of the Yellow Glove Club, right?
Found a wedge.
No? Okay, whatever.
Found a what? Wedge.
Go put it over by the table with the other wedges.
Right.
So yeah, we got everything braced, and I also put in some spare electrical conduits because I don't have any plans for them yet, but later down the road, if you ever want to take any circuits out of your panel to your yard somewhere for a greenhouse or another shed or something, I don't know what we're going to do later on, but if we don't have these going through the slab and out through the stem wall, then you're basically forced to have to drill a hole through the side of your wall and come out with conduit exposed on the outside of the building and like LB down through the ground, and it just makes the outside of your wall ugly. So I put in some spares. I got a couple here, and then I got another one on that side. So I'll be able to get plenty of circuits out of those size conduits that I put in. So for any future expansion in the yard, we're covered there. But yeah, this is basically done, waiting for concrete. We got like a week downtime because of the no supply of concrete, so we're just trying to keep busy. The other day we trimmed up all the trees along our driveway and out on the road, because when we pull out on the road you couldn't see the traffic coming either direction, so we limbed those up so we can actually see. And then today, like Ryan said, we're gonna go remove this tree from my neighbor's yard that fell over, so we're gonna get started on that.
All right, here we go.
Can I drive the tractor with you?
So we have a lot of wood to move, so we're kind of debating on whether or not we should switch out the forks for the bucket Because if we use the bucket, then we'll cut up the logs into a bunch of little pieces and then stick it in the bucket and then move it. But we'll be moving back and forth more. Or the other option is to use the forks and then transport big, long logs and then take them over to our wood pile and cut them up there. I kind of think that'd be the more efficient way to do it. But, well, that way we're not driving the tractor back and forth. Just to save time on the tractor. And then we can just cut them over by the wood pile.
Or we have to stack it. I'm leaning toward that too.
It just seems like the better way to do it. Unless Forrest just feels like driving the tractor back and forth. Which,
I wouldn't be the one driving it back and forth. I'd be the one
Oh.
cutting.
never mind
And somebody else would be driving it back and forth.
that. We have volunteers. But I don't think we're going to go that way.
Down. Let's go ahead. You gonna drive it over there?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
So, you lift this up.
No.
Oh no, you push it down, then you lift up the forks just to tighten it so they're not on the ground, and then you go.
You're getting too excited. Calm yourself. You gotta lift up the back, you gotta lift up the front. How do you lift up the back?
I don't know.
You lift it up with this. Then you can lift up these. Now you're ready to go. You can take your parking brake off, you put it into low, and you can give it a little more RPMs, not much, like that. You can do your forward pedals, and if you need to stop, you just let off. If you're still rolling, this is a brake. Drive really slow along the tree line by us. We're gonna walk beside you. Lift up on it while you push the button. Lift up a little bit. You're sure you didn't adjust in your seat? The tractor will shut off if you don't put weight on the seat. So if you did that or adjusted or anything, you could have shut it off. So get in the seat, put it in neutral. Pay attention. That's where the fuel goes in this one. Look at this. See that symbol? Or see that? See how it looks like a gas pump? That's the fuel. See over here where it has the oil drip? And that's a chain and oil. That's the bar oil. That's where you put the bar and saw chain lubricant. So you pull the tractor up, swing it in like this, so the front of the tractor is pointing that way. That way we can take these limbs and drag them straight onto the forks.
So what you do is, you have to really try really hard, okay? Go ahead. Push, 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 push. You have to put, most of the pressure is here. Most of the pressure is on the, no, you can't do it. No, you can, you're strong enough. It's just, you gotta kind of like lift up just a little bit and then push it in, okay? So pull up first just a little bit and then press it in with 2 fingers up. Push, you almost had it. There you go. See how that worked? Try it again. Do it again. Push it in. See? I knew you could do it. We're really big believers in letting your kids struggle with things so that they can actually figure out how to do it, because you're never going to learn something unless you do it yourself. So I always try to make it a point to not just do it for them, but to give them an opportunity to really struggle. Because there's growth in the struggle, strength in the struggle. So that's how we do things.
Pull that branch off. Pull this branch off. Pull it. Hard.
Where'd you hurt? Good? It was like tug of war, but versus the tractor.
What? Wanna ride? Come on. Come on. Ready? Don't get caught on the wheels. Do I got more room? No?
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
Did I hit it? Can you pick it up straight?
I'm over here upset because I asked the girls to go get the lopper so that I could cut up the branches into little pieces so that we could stack it nicely, like the wood that is good for burning. And Forrest was like, oh, you don't need to get the loppers, you don't need to clip it up, you're wasting your time. And I was just like, whatever, because I didn't understand that he was just gonna smash it down and lift it up with the tractor. So I'm over there loading it and he's just watching me do it.
I wasn't just, don't make it sound like I was just sitting here watching you. I was working.
He was watching me. I was like, what an idiot.
I was cutting up this tree.
Letting me.
Well, I already told you, but you didn't want to listen. So, I mean, what can I say?
I didn't understand why. And so I was like loading it onto the tractor because I have zero tractor experience.
Does this open up?
Yep.
What do you have in there?
My secret stash of stuff.
Oh, I'm so thirsty.
I really want
So, did you pull out any of the gunk back there that I cut up?
I did. I pulled out some of it, but some of it looked old, so I wasn't sure if you were cutting up old stuff.
I did. There was like 3 or 4 trees that were just like hanging in the branches of the other trees.
Yeah, I pulled out some of it.
And so I cut some down, I pushed some down, just so that they weren't like hanging in the trees. But we don't have to get it, it's back there.
Yeah.
It's on our property, they're on the ground now.
Yeah, no, I got some of it.
I don't feel like making a humongous pile of crap.
That's kind of how I felt about it. That was another reason why I thought we were gonna lopper it down.
Yeah, but we talked about it. The whole thing was just to get it over there where we're going to stack it.
Yeah.
If you lopped it here, we'd be trying to pick up a bazillion little pieces.
Over here, yeah. Well, here, take it that way. All right, so last little bit here.
Hey, down. I got to try to put these up on the forks.
We had a wood chipper.
Wood chipper, 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 chipper.
The scraggly stuff is so nice to just chip it so I can use it for the compost pile.
Yeah, let's go buy one today.
What?
Can we get some bunnies too?
We don't have a place to put bunnies.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. Actually.
What?
I said, no, we don't, actually.
Go put the bonfire out, then we'll
Bunny, bunny, bunnies. I like my bunnies. Where's my little bunnies?
Maybe you like some bunnies?
It looks like this. It looks like blue pine. Huh?
What did you say?
Looks like blue pine. It's pine trees that start getting blue on them because they're diseased.
No, I do want to get some bunnies going though.
Yeah, I want to get them today, and we can start putting the bunny wire on right now.
That way I can start collecting bunny poo from my garden. The sooner we get the bunny poo.
Yeah.
It's not gonna stay.
Let's do it today. How does the tree get diseased?
Just like anything, something brings it to it.
Did that fall into their yard from our yard? That's really old. That came from that side too. Came from over there.
Yeah.
This came from our yard. Look at that destruction at it. Just cleared everything out.
That one tree that looked like it got cut, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that what we just cut up, that's where it split off. It was like a double-headed tree, you know, where it split. And part of it just went and ripped off and fell.
I think that's kind of strange. I mean, that was huge.
It was big.
Yeah, well, look at it. That's big.
This is where our well will go. It's our little home for our well. Put it over there. Our little well house. Casa de la Well. Alright, I figure I might as well show you where this well house is going to go. Although if you've watched our other videos, you already know where it's going to go. But if you haven't watched our other videos, might as well show you or remind you of La Casa de la Well. The future.
Yeah, we just figured we'd get moving on this since we have the delay in the concrete and the stem. So we built footer forms and I prefabbed all the rebar for the footer and the stem wall.
Yeah.
All we're doing is a 12-inch wide, 6-inch deep footer with a 6-inch wide stem wall.
Just a little something to keep our well nice and warm for the winter.
We're going to do 2-inch rigid foam, probably on the inside and the outside.
Maybe like this. Alright, here it is. We puts it in the hole so that it doesn't freeze. Then we got all of our tubing here ready and set to go. And the conduit for the electrical so that we can have an electrical pump. Well, we have one now, but you know.
It's not a conduit, it's a direct bearing, it's a UF cable.
I stand corrected.
And this will be dug out a little deeper. We're on a hill right here, so if you see the grass coming through the pile of dirt right there. Original grade. It's coming down on grade, so it's shallow over here on this side, but we're going 4 feet deep with our main water line. The plan is basically on the high side of the hill here to have that water line a minimum of 4 feet when it comes through the well house, well pit, whatever you want to call it down there.
Casa de la Well, babe. That's what I want to call it.
So I'm gonna have to dig down a little bit because I want. I'm gonna put a sleeve in the stem wall. I'm not gonna put it underneath the footer because I want to reduce the amount of elbows in the main water line, so that I don't reduce my water pressure. So rather than taking my water line below the footer and then 90ing it up, and then having to put another 90-degree elbow on to go over to the tank, pressure tank. Instead, I'm just going to go deep enough where my main water line can stay at 4 feet and come straight through the stem wall and pass straight in front of the pressure tank with no elbows, so we don't reduce any water pressure. So I'll dig this down a little further. We'll throw these, we'll get it to grade where it's level all the way around. We'll throw those forms in here, a rebar and a bolt for the footer. And then when I form up the stem walls, we'll put a sleeve in it for the water, main water line will come through. And everything will be well below the frost level. And we'll get all that down here on the ground.
Yes. Should we call it Chateau de Well since we're closer to Canada now?
We'll call it.
Oh, and I will. It's a mighty fine looking wall you built there, babe. Can't wait to see it. Yeah.
they're supposed to, as long as they get their concrete, make some concrete next week. They're also supposed to get our septic tank next week. So we'll have a lot of backfill work to do, and hopefully get rid of a lot of all these deer ponds. And
Have you talked with them about the well? Or not the well, I'm sorry, the septic? Been in contact with them? Okay. So it's for sure next week?
Thursday.
I just ask because it always seems like things come up, or, supplies are short or something. I don't know. I just constantly ask the same questions over and over again, I guess.
It's been poured, made, it's ready.
Nice.
We just don't have a delivery truck available until Thursday.
Cool.
It's all paid for and full now.
Bought and paid for.
It's supposed to be here Thursday morning, so if our concrete shows up like it's supposed to on Tuesday, we'll pour on Tuesday. Won't strip it until Wednesday. And then Thursday morning, it's going to be a lot of work to strip it. There's a ton of lumber.
Yeah.
More plywood and stacking it there. There's a couple of bunks and 2x material. So to strip it and get it all the nails out of it and all stacked nice and neat and get it out of the way, it's going to take a long time. And Thursday morning, our septic tank shows up. We'll set that in, make sure it's all on level. And so we'll have a ton of cleaning this place up.
Yep.
And hopefully the well won't be too far behind it. Once we get the footer and stem wall poured on that, we can get all the electrical and water line through it and get all that done. Start looking somewhat normal here.
Dang, it sucks too because I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's kind of a bummer, so I won't be here as much to capture the experience and be a part of it.
Evidently I can't film for YouTube.
He tried, but he ended up doing like a time lapse in pictures. So
I don't know how to do that.
it was a missed opportunity, but that's okay. He did better than when he tried to film the Narrows when we went to Zion. That time he didn't even turn it on. So this time he at least caught pictures, so hopefully...
It was on.
Okay, it just wasn't funny.
This time I went to video. I seen the clock counting.
Okay.
So I don't know how long it
Okay.
spoke to the camera,
He spoke
talked
to-
to YouTube. And I set it up on time lapse while I was building the wall.
And he got a ton of pictures.
And I don't know, I wasn't taking pictures. I put it on time lapse, set it up on the hill, set it up.
That's okay. He's gonna get it this time.
I'm learning.
He's learning. We're all learning. Feels good out right now. It's starting to look smoky again, huh? Dang it. Damn smoke.